Hello friends! Welcome back to Storytime! Today we'll be reading another story, which is called The Crayon Man, the true story of the invention of Crayola Crayons by Natascha Biebow, illustrated by Stephen Sarnario. But before we get started, please subscribe and like. The Crayon Man. Once there was a man who saw color everywhere. Noticed the yellow-orange petals on the black-eyed Susans in his garden. He marveled at the rich scarlet-red tones of the cardinal's feathers. He admired at the deep blue-greens of the waves in the sea. Color made him really, really happy. All day long at work, all he saw was disgusting, yucky black and plain old black dust, tar, black ink, black dye, and black shoe polish. His company sold carbon black, a new kind of pigment, a water-colored substance made from the soot of burning oil and natural gas. People used it printing inks, electric street lamps, and stove and shoe polish. It also made rubber car tires last much longer. His name was Edwin Binney, and he was an inventor. He worked with his cousin C. Harold Smith. Together they were Benny and Smith. Harold was a great salesman. He loved to travel the world. Edwin was curious, had a knack for listening and making what people needed. Edwin invented a new type of inexpensive state pencil that wrote very smoothly. It was gray. Children loved it. He invented a kind of chalk that wasn't dusty and didn't crumble. It was white. Teachers loved it. It's kind of funny that there's a little bit of text in the chalkboard. He invented a wax crayon that would write on wood and paper packaging. It was really, really black. People loved it. Paper was expensive in the 80s, so children wrote with slate pencils or chalk on slates, small handheld blackboards. So when everyone, including Edwin's wife, Alice, told him that the children need better, cheaper crayons, he listened. They said, "The crayons we have are really big, dull, and clumsy. Lumps of colored clay only make fat, chunky lines. And the artists' crayons from Europe are far too expensive. They crumble and break easily. Some are even poisonous." Alice used to be a school teacher, so she knew what children needed. She encouraged Edwin to invent the crayons. Edwin thought about his company inventions. When you drew a picture with a gray slate pencil, it rubbed off at the drop of a hat. When you drew with a picture with a white chalk, it smudged everywhere. If you drew a picture with Edwin's new really black crayon, it was, well, really black. None of these inventions were any good for drawing in color. So Edwin listened, and Edwin invented. In a small stone mill in Pennsylvania, in a top-secret lab, Edwin's team experimented. How could they make better, stronger crayons? Melted paraffin wax? Perhaps. I always make this joke with Harmony of See You in Pennsylvania. By the way, you shall go watch that on my Toy Playtime channel. The first colored crayons invented in Europe was made from a mixture of charcoal and oil, so they broke easily. To make stronger crayons, Edwin tried using wax instead. Now for the crayon colors. Grinding up rocks and minerals into fine powders. Mixing. Slate for gray, earth for yellow, red and brown, perhaps. Oh yes, and lapis for blue. Pounding, shifting, and heating the colored powders. Would they be bright enough? Edwin's team kept on trying. They kept on experimenting. Wow, look at all those colors. Ground up rocks and minerals made bright pigments for crayons. Red iron oxide, helmet for red, yellow iron. For yellow, various shades of red, iron oxide for brown, carbon black for black, then oxide, and white, and importantly, mainly made from lapis lazuli for blue. They came home covered in color. Oh my god, look at everybody. I cannot tell who's Edwin. Oh my god, everybody is colored and covered and they're walking back home with color splotches all over the floor. They experimented some more and discovered a pinch of this pigment, a sploosh of that one, a little hotter, a little colder, and voila! Lots of different shades. Now there are greens, oranges, violets, and pinks too. Edwin came home in color, covered in color. Man, look at him. Now he just covered fully in color. It's even on his face. To make orange, green, and violet, chemists blended various pigments and clays. Some minerals changed the color when heated. Plus, the length of time the mixtures were left to cool created different colors too. Like there's all these colors: gray, green, orange, violet, pink, blue, yellow, red, and brown. You know, pink and violet are one of those two favorite colors. Maybe all actually. In a large tub at the mill, Edwin's team measured out the ingredients: melted wax, clay to thicken, something for texture, colored powders, and each in just the right amount every time to make a top secret formula. Slowly, carefully stirring by hand, they poured the special formula into thin, crayon-shaped molds, smaller than any other inventor's, just the right size for children's hands. The mixture cooled and hardened. Edwin watched and Edwin waited. Like we use the crayons today. This is about the company Crayola. Children might eat or chew the crayons and get sick, so Edwin's team experimented to find new, safe, non-toxic colors and materials. Finally, one summer evening in June 1903, Edwin came home covered in color. Okay, he is fully covered in colors, and announced that he invented a new kind of colored crayon. But what should he call it? Alice had an idea. She said, let's mix the French word craye for a stick of chalk and the word olla for the word oleaginous, meaning oily like the oily texture of the crayon wax, to invent a new word, Crayola. Edwin listened. Binney and Smith shipped out the first Crayola crayon boxes. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and brown, and black. 8 colored colors for only a nickel. Edwin waited. Would children like them? children did! Now they could draw a tiny green caterpillar on a big blue sky. Their drawings wouldn't smudge and they wouldn't rub out. They were bright and they could last a long, long time. By the 19s, inventors had figured out how to make cheaper paper from wood pulp, so children could now draw on paper instead of just slate. Aw, look at that. There's like these leaves and this cute little caterpillar. And these flowers too. How did he make the caterpillar so well? I cannot even draw a caterpillar well. Excitement over the new colorful invention spread like wildfire. Admirers from far and wide flocked to marvel at Binney and Smith's inventions at the St. Louis World Fair. The company's dustless chalk ever won a gold medal. Proudly, Edwin and Harold showed it off, especially on their new Crayola Crayon boxes. World's Fair 1904. Trade Crayola mark gold medal, 8 colors. School crayons for educational color work. Manufactured by Binney and Smith, New York. And these are all the crayons. Purple, blue, orange, or violet, whatever it's called. Yellow, red, brown, green, and black. I think pink is at the bottom. Yeah, pink must be at the bottom. Every day, Edwin brought colorful boutiques from his garden to inspire the Crayola team. They made crayons in even more different shades, and later asked children to help name some of them. What? That's even so cool. To celebrate their 19th anniversary, Crayola had color naming competition. The 6-year-old winner coined Tropical Rainforest. Other cool names created by children included Robin Eggs Blue, Tickle Me Pink, and Macaroni and Cheese. That's hilarious. Okay, I thought Crayola invented these and made these silly names, and I was like, how did they make these silly names? I don't know, but this story told me that kids tell the Crayola people that the name that they want. What? So cool. At last, because of Edwin Binney, the man who saw color everywhere, had a knack for listening and making what people needed, children all around the world could reach for just the right shade to draw anything. Look at all these colors. Sunglow, Wisterlot, Jungle Green, Screamin' Green, Razzmatazz, Robin's Blue Egg, Wild Watermelon, Mauvelous, Purple's Mountain Majesty, Cadent Blue, Lavender, Timberwolf. Oh wait, that's a type of marker color. Cool. Wow. How Crayola color crayons are made today. Wow, these are all they made these like right today. Like they're like making them right now. So yeah, that's how they make them. So the other steps. A man who loved color. Edwin Binney. The end. I hope you enjoyed reading that fantastic story. Make sure to like and subscribe. I would totally appreciate that. See you later in another outstanding story. Bye bye, reader friends.